everybody. Welcome to week 8, training on social media, getting started with the very basics of social media. Just as a reminder, this is the last week, the final video in our Getting Started series. You'll want to make sure you watch the other videos before this one if you haven't done so already. We'll be announcing more training things coming up in the future, but this is ending our Getting Started series. So let's get started and talk about the basics of social media. Gosh, where do you start? There are so many things out there. Facebook, Twitter, which is probably not a great place for Couture because everything is so visual. Instagram, Pinterest, Google+. YouTube, which now allows live streaming and blogging. Our suggestion here is if you're going to advertise your business on Couture, that you pick one, start with it, learn all the ins and outs with it, and do it well before you bring another component into it. We're going to cover a couple of them today and talk about how you can probably be on both at the same time. But let's dive in now with talking about Facebook. Notice that the picture of Facebook here is of a cell phone. Most people that are on Facebook are viewing Facebook via their phone. In fact, it's probably about 80% of people that log into Facebook are viewing information on their phone. This means that if you're posting pictures and items or even doing a live stream on Facebook, that people are only going to be able to see the width or height of your screen. So it's really important to do close-ups and hold still. And if you're doing a static picture, that the picture is the good quality and of course closer on the object so people can see it. Now let's dive into the different parts of social media for Facebook. Let's talk about your personal profile page. This is your specific page on Facebook. So for all of us, that's our name, right? Our name is attached to it, and it's all about you. It's actually not for constant advertising. In fact, if Facebook sees you doing this, after a while, they could come in and just shut you down. This is really important because they see a lot of designers posting about Couture all the time. Now, you can get away with it a couple of times a week, and I'll talk about that in a second. But if you're constantly promoting your business and someone reports you for spamming them with your personal account, Facebook will come in and shut you down, and there will be no chance of you getting your personal profile back. You will have to go in and start from scratch all over. They've done this with some other companies that were doing lots of promotions with the content that the corporate gave them. So just be very careful. At the same time, people want to connect with you. So if you're constantly spamming people, it turns them off and doesn't really help your Facebook algorithm. I go to a church and there was a lady from a time that was involved in another direct sales company. And the reputation that this person had was constantly hunting people down to see about placing an order or booking a party. In fact, in the coffee hour after worship, people would be saying to each other, "Oh, here she comes again," and people would scatter very quickly. You don't want to be that person with your business. You want to share about yourself on your personal page and then integrate Couture from time to time. People really want to hear about your family and hear about your great day, hear about the latest and greatest gadget that you might have found that has nothing to do with your business. Facebook is not a place to promote or start arguing with people, talk politics, or encourage debates. Now, some of you may disagree with me on this one, but I've seen a lot of people that have tried to engage people and feel that their opinion is the best opinion out there. All that does is create more dissent. and more dialogue that's not positive or uplifting. So I would consider to have those debates behind the scene and share your opinions. It's very easy now with social media to sit behind our computer or our cell phone and simply type what we feel or are thinking at the moment with really no repercussion. Can you imagine if we did that in our jobs or if we were in school and did the same thing? So I encourage you to consider not posting about those things and only focusing on the positive. This way, positive follows you, and we keep the drama and things where it needs to be. With all of those things said, we do encourage you to post about Couture from time to time on your personal page. But you only want to do this about 1 or 2 times a week. So keep it to a minimum and focus all the other storytelling on your personal page. We want to keep the business things in one of 2 places, either a Facebook page or a Facebook group. So let's look at the difference between the two. A Facebook page is kind of your voice for your business. It's where you're going to build relationships, find new customers, and increase sales. So that's your business side. It can still have your name. Some of you have created some already. Please remember to review our policies, as you cannot have Couture in the name of your business page. People on a Facebook page choose to like your page, and depending on the algorithm of Facebook, if it will be seen or not. So don't fret, though, because it works similar to your personal profile. You want to make sure you're building relationship there so that it is being seen. People are opting in to that page, which automatically gets that your content seen to them a little bit sooner. You're going to still want to share a little bit about your personal life on your Facebook page as compared to your personal profile. So think about the 80-20 rule here. On your Facebook page, you're going to talk Couture 80% of the time, and you're going to talk about yourself 20% of the time. On your personal profile page, that's all about you. You're going to talk about Couture only 20% of the time, and about yourself 80% of the time. In all these places, you're definitely going to want to use pictures and or video. Video actually at the moment seems to get a higher rating with Facebook. It's really important, though, that you stay online for a couple of minutes to gain the following. Please make sure you're asking for likes and loves for all of the posts that you're doing or the videos that you're doing, because that actually helps increases the algorithm over time and gets that content seen by the people that are engaging with you. And did you know, here's a tip, selfies tend to get seen a lot more. Excuse me. So if you've just created the latest, greatest project with Couture, consider posting your photo with it somehow. Now, I'm not suggesting you become the selfie queen and post every single picture of yourself with the product, but from time to time, take a picture of your latest product and show your excitement, enthusiasm in the photo by being in it at the same time. This will increase the engagement, and it also builds your personal brand. Now, let's flip over to a Facebook group. Facebook groups are a great place for communication and for people to share common interest and express their opinion, right? They let people come together around a common cause or issue or activity and express objectives, discuss things, share photos and relevant content. In this case, all of that equals Couture. VIP groups are really hot. They've been hot for the past year. Creating a VIP group is really, really smart. It's where you can have the constant dialogue with your customers. Where on your Facebook page, there's not a lot of dialogue. It's more you giving out information. Your Facebook group is where you get to dialogue and specifically have those ongoing conversations. It's a great place to share your specials. You're going to want to make sure you invite your friends to join and also like your business page. Now, Facebook also allows you, once you create a Facebook page, to also then link your VIP group to that page. So people that find your page will also be able to find your Facebook group very easily. The more angles you can find new customers, the better. Plus, your information is out there for potential new customers. If you're only using your personal account all the time, you're only going to be in front of your current friends or people that you're connected with. The Facebook page allows you to be seen by other people. Think about this. If Couture had a business page, then visitors to that page could instantly see her VIP group. So this is a great way to be able to do both things. Now, when people start interacting with your Facebook page, you're going to be able to invite them to follow your page. So this is a great little tip I'm going to share with you right now. I'm actually going to take down the PowerPoint for a second. And I've got messages coming in here. So I'm on the Couture business page. So this is the same thing. It is a page about Couture that we run for you. When we post on this page, you'll see the latest post by Couture was about the kits. It's reached 7,600 people, which is kind of exciting because we have 8,000 followers to our page, if you see that over here. Now, you'll see where the content has been seen by a lot of people because we've had about 79 likes. Some of them may be your name sitting right here. When I click on that, I actually can go through this list and you'll see this person here saw the content from the page, but does not currently like or follow Couture. I can click on it and invite them. You'll see that this person has already liked Couture. This person has not. So I can click and have them follow. So this is an important step. As you create content on your business page, your Facebook page, not your personal profile, you'll see likes start happening because the content is traveling. You'll want to make sure you're going back to future content or future posts and looking to make sure that you're inviting those people. So you'll see where it says I invited them and you'll see them convert over. That's a really good tip for your page. Okay, now in either place, you're going to want to make sure you're doing giveaways either on your page or your group. And be specific for each thing. Your page is about growing, so you want to get your content seen by others. So it's a great way to do a giveaway. Your Facebook group works a little bit different because you've already converted people to hear about your product. You want to make sure you're converting them. So it's a great place to host contests as well. You want to make sure that you're always asking people to share your Facebook page and Facebook group. This is how your information gets seen by others, where they can like it as well. And then just as I showed you, you can invite them to follow you. It's also a great place to build the following by doing online events. So you can do it live, either in a group or in a Facebook page. And actually yesterday, Facebook launched that you can now bring another person into a Facebook Live. So if you are doing a project and you have somebody that wants to ask a question besides the comments, you can bring them in to ask a question. If you want to bring one of your uplines in to help you talk about, say, the compensation plan, you can have them stream with you live as well. There's a little plus sign that should allow you to add them in. And since it's just released, you'll be able to find more information about the specifics of that very soon. Facebook, of course, is always releasing new updates that help us grow our businesses. Okay, let's move on. That's a little bit about Facebook. Let's move over to Instagram. Instagram is not story-based, it's very picture-based. So the picture must tell the story. So you'll see here a picture that we created on our Chalk Couture page. It's about us labeling, hand labeling each of the Chalkology paste jars for you. The one problem with Instagram is that there are no links. You'll see the picture right here and the content underneath that talks about it. If you were to type a link there, it will not be a link that you can click. So don't be putting links on your Instagram post because people are not able to click them, and it kind of makes it look like you don't know what you're doing. Instead, you'll want to go to your profile page on Instagram and put your link there. When you post then on Instagram, if you want to send them to your website, you remind them, check for a link to go shopping, visit my profile. And that tells people to go to your profile to click the link that you have generated there. In general terms, for both Instagram and Facebook, you're going to want to make sure your profile pages are pointing them towards your replicated Chalk Couture website. You want to make sure you put that in multiple places so that people have a chance to see it and be able to click on it as well. Following other people on social media or on Instagram allows them to follow you back. That's a big push in Instagram. However, you need to be careful, as there are a lot of people on Instagram just what's called fishing for followers, which means they'll follow you and then the next day they will unfollow you. They're hoping that you'll just turn in a follower for them, and in the turn, they're not really looking to follow you. So when you're engaging with people that you see begin to follow you on Instagram, connect with them, check out their profile, and decide whether you want to really follow them. Don't feel obligated. However, when you're scrolling through Instagram, start following people that share similar interests, especially with crafters, right? We're definitely a craft industry. So you're going to want to follow other crafters because then in turn, you want them to follow you. Now, the big story with Instagram is, of course, hashtags. You'll see the hashtag at the bottom of the post we have there. Each post should have them. It's fun, of course, to put a couple of them on your main text, which is what we've done there. You'll see the hashtag Chalk Couture. However, you want to save the majority of your standard ones for the comments. That's a little bit odd because you're going to comment on your own post, but that's how it works best. So after you create your Instagram post, like you've seen here, we've created one hashtag that says Chalk Couture. Then in one of the comments, we would add multiple more hashtags. You'll want to do about 15 to 20 of them. You don't want to go overboard, but you want to have a decent amount that you can always use. For example, you might want to hashtag chalk, crafty, DIY for do it yourself, right? So those are some of the things that you're going to want to create hashtags for. And of course, always doing Chalk Couture on that as well. My suggestion and the tip is, since a lot of people are posting from their phone, is go into the notes section of your phone, type up all of your hashtags. Then when you go to post your Instagram post, after it's posted, click on the comments, copy and paste all of those hashtags in. This way you don't have to type them up every single time. You'll notice the more that you use hashtags, the more likes your post will get and potential followers that you'll have. This is how Instagram works. So it's really important to be using them. Now, people do use hashtags on Facebook, but it doesn't work the exact same in terms of searching. So it is fun once in a while to post and then have it, and then on Facebook and put the hashtag there just for fun, but don't overdo hashtags on Facebook. They are only meant for Instagram. With all of this said about social media, whether it be Facebook or Instagram, I want you to keep in mind, building your business online can be very difficult. It takes a long time to bring in sales from it. It's consistency and brand awareness that's the most important. Now, we do have designers that are building exclusively online, and it is possible, but some of that also incurs paying Facebook to boost, which is the cost of doing business. If you're going to build it organically, then it does take time. So there's a couple things that I want you to keep in mind. Number one, be patient. This is about building a relationship. You aren't going to be getting sales overnight. Think about our training from about week 2 when I mentioned the Eric Worre book. This is all a part of the process of building relationships before asking for a sale. So you want to build your brand awareness and then making sure over time you work to understand who the people are that following you and developing conversations with them via your Facebook page or the group. The next thing that I see people do that don't have success with online is they're not consistent. You need to have a plan and write it down. Maybe you need an Excel file, or I like to use a large desk calendar to see the big picture so you know what types of things that you are posting about and when you're posting about it. Think about what you do on your own Facebook group, what we do with our Facebook group. Every Tuesday, we've been having training. Other days, we have sharing a share tip or a build tip. So we have specific things on specific days. It's intentional because you all have learned what is being posted when. Your customers will learn the same thing. And the beauty of those groups that are attached to your page, you actually have the page and you can schedule them out in advance. So on your personal profile feed, you can't schedule a post, but on your business page and in a group, you can schedule those posts in advance. So you don't need fancy software, a paid service. Facebook allows you to do it, which is really good. You'll want to test the different times that you're posting to find out what works best. Typically, early mornings, lunch, and evenings are better times, and Sunday evenings are a really good time because more people are engaged. The times between 2 and 4 p.m. are also really popular. So think about popular times, but it works a little bit different for every individual, depends on who your followers are. So you'll want to test posting at different times, which is why you want to have a schedule, and then notice what is happening in your insights. If you're going to utilize more than one platform, which we don't recommend at first, see if you can replicate what you are doing from one to the other. For example, Instagram, if you have an account with Instagram, will let you automatically post to Facebook. This is a great feature. It's another reason why you don't want to include a lot of hashtags on your original post. So if you're posting on Instagram, you can then automatically send that to your Facebook page. YouTube is now allowing live streaming, just like the live streaming we do on Facebook. The nice part about it is that live stream turns into a published video. On Facebook, the live stream gets buried quickly with other content. But on YouTube, it stays published for longer because people can still pull it up in your videos. Now, we didn't touch on Pinterest, but we recommend about once a month taking all the photos you've been posting and then going in and then pinning them directly to Pinterest. It doesn't have to be something you do on a daily basis. Remember, though, to create a link from your picture that leads people right back to your replicated website. That's a step a lot of people miss with Pinterest. So once you're uploading that photo, make sure you're creating that link. If people click on it, that leads them right back to your website. Because product changes frequently, or over time is going to go away, Pinterest keeps things forever. So we suggest just linking them to the home page of your replicated website with Chalk Couture and not linking it directly to the product, because it will show them throwed links over time. So that's a really important thing. Today has been a training on the basics of social media. We can't dive into it all more specifically. In future possible trainings or at corporate events, we may dive into the topics a little bit more. Our hope is that these trainings have been a general overview. If you have more questions, of course, you're going to want to go read for yourself. Social media is one of those things that's constantly evolving. So if you want to learn more about how to grow your business online, attend someone's webinar, find a good book, follow people that are building online and see what's working for them. Remember, though, that you don't want to share someone else's content without their permission and pretend it's yours. If you're just sharing an article, that's great. But if you're using someone else's artwork to promote your business, that's a kind of a big no-no. Instead, you'll want to create the content yourself and then take the picture and post it yourself. The opposite side of that is you really don't want to be sharing someone else's content because you're sharing them and their business, which only helps their business and potentially it doesn't help yours. So I have a challenge for you. You're gonna, in the next week or two, think about starting a Facebook page or just a VIP group or both, or start an Instagram account. Start playing with it, learning how they work. But most importantly, work on developing relationships. Instagram would be a hot place for Chalk Couture right now, as we're a fairly new company where you could be showing it off. But remember, a finished project doesn't work the same as understanding what the live process is. So think about trying to use live video on Instagram for short snippets, or putting the paste in your photo when you post on Instagram. I think that there are thousands and thousands of people that have yet to heard of Chalk Couture. We know this because we're rapidly expanding. So this is a prime opportunity for you to be first on the scene and start building an audience for Chalk Couture yourself. So consider start doing one of these in the next couple of weeks. As a reminder, this is the final week of the Getting Started series. We thank you for connecting with this basic training that we've provided. Remember, follow up with the person that you enrolled with to get your questions answered more, or to continue with some of these topics in more depth. We look forward to helping you in future training things or in person at a future event. Have a great day.